Well, and the thing that kind of hurts Flanagan in the future, whenever people are talking about that, is 90% of his stuff is done on TV. You know, it's Netflix.
It's Netflix and chill, yeah. Because it's so goddamn boring if you're watching it on some.
Colonel, shut the fuck up.
What else is there to do?
There he goes. He'll be putting the moves on and the date and shit when when the Flanagan comes.
I gotta shuffle you around there.
It's just an automatic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. I don't have to run day. It's just an automatic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. It's just an automatic Monday.
If you want to become a member, check out our website at deathcursesociety.com. Check out the membership section. You can do it for as little as the price of a cup of coffee once a month. We've got to give thanks to our members, our final girls and guys, Chris, Lorena, BD, Mags, and Tyrone, our Crazy Ralphs, Rick and Raymond, and our camp counselors. Oh, what is this?
Ooh.
42nd Street Pete, Corey, Luke, Michigan Dave, Jimmy, and Rachel Ogletree, who signed up today. Stacy Lynn, Orlando, Patricia, and JJ. Thank you, guys. Folks, tonight, because Thanksgiving dropped on Netflix this last weekend, just on Saturday, we're going to do an official top 5 of Eli Roth's films. Number 5 for me, part 2 of Hostel. Number 4, it's Knock Knock. Moving on to number 3, one that Hostel. Yeah. Dude, this is actually a really fucking good movie. Dude, this is a great fucking horror movie, but it's still number 2 for me. Cabin Fever. Honorable mentions. Fuck it. Just Green Inferno. Next honorable mention for me, Death Wish. Third honorable mention, The House with a Clock in Its Walls. This was based on a book I remember reading when I was a kid. And number 1, we just watched it a couple months ago. Surprised the hell out of me how good it really was. And it's a pure, authentic slasher for a new time. And it's Thanksgiving.
Kicking it right off with number 5 is Knock Knock. Coming in at number 4, we have Hostel. Coming in at number 3, movie gets a lot of hate. But I actually fucking really like it. And she left, so I can steal her line. The Green Inferno. Coming in at number 2, Cabin Fever. Here we go, my honorable mentions. Death Wish. House with a Clock in Its Walls.
Literally just a title.
Yeah. And
next title.
I was obligated to have honorable mentions, hence that's why they're there. But let's get to number 1, because that's why you're all here. Fucking Thanksgiving.
I changed it up a little bit here. I put The House with a Clock in Its Walls at 5. All right, number 4. Yeah, we've just been over and over it. Keanu Reeves and Knock Knock. Number 3, we've been down here. Hostel, man. It's got the gore. I love gore. Number 2, I'm right with you guys. Fucking the first movie he did, Cabin Fever. Again, the shaving scene. This is what Evil Dead should have done. Rise with the cheese grater. My honorable mentions, Hostel 2, Death Wish. And then, yeah, this one, I guess this could have been 5, and The House with the Clock in Its Walls could have been here, but The Green Inferno is my last honorable mention because, frankly, Cannibal Holocaust, although this is a love letter to it, Cannibal Holocaust has the grit and that realism, and the animal cruelty. I'm not even, fuck all that. I'm just saying the rest of it is fucking like, they put the guy on trial for murder until he produced this fucking actors. That's cool. Which brings us to number 1, Finn.
I can't believe it. Finn?
Yeah. No, I'm kidding. Thanksgiving, of course. Yes, man. I said this. I was on record saying this is his best movie to date by far.
It's between Thanksgiving, Hostel, Cabin Fever, or The Green Inferno. What was the number 1 pick of our fans on YouTube or our followers on YouTube. Thanksgiving and Hostel tied for second, far behind The Green Inferno.
How many people that voted for Green Inferno? And I enjoyed Green Inferno. I don't shit on it. I enjoyed the fucking movie. But how many people voted for Green Inferno and haven't seen Cannibal Holocaust?
Well, yeah.
It changes my fucking standing on it for sure.
But that surprised the shit out of me. Because it started with Thanksgiving and Hostel being neck and neck. And then just in the last like 24 hours, 36 hours, here comes The Green Inferno just rocking past them. Thanksgiving across the board, Cabin Fever across the board, Cabin Fever. Hostel and Green Inferno locked at number 3. That's as close to agreement right there, folks, that you will ever see on this show. Let us know if we're wrong in the comments. Give us your top 5. Let's see. Okay, well, we could talk about some of his other stuff that had got brought up. I actually just watched Clown not too long ago. That's decent, but I like how he took the present, Eli Roth presents thing from how he got picked up by Quentin Tarantino. Because was it Hostel and at least Hostel Part 1 and 2 were Quentin Tarantino presents films.
Yeah.
And now he's doing them. I think that's kind of funny.
Giving it back. I like him too as an actor, though. I mean, Inglourious Bastards. What a great character. I would like to see him as a killer type, in some kind of slasher.
Him bashing a fucking Nazi's head in with a baseball bat wasn't. He
That's
was
not
a killer
enough.
already, man.
That's what I'm saying. I would see him in an actual proper horror film where he's the fucking antagonist. Shit.
Ted Williams knocks it out of the fucking park.
Yeah.
Sorry, I love that fucking line.
Oh, and they put the clink. He hits him too, man. It's like, ooh.
And he was a producer on Haunt too, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So that one's pretty solid as well.
What's he got coming out? Borderlands or?
Yeah. He's doing something like that.
Like a video game adaptation, I think.
Yeah.
Don't know much about it.
Well, we talked briefly about it, but yeah, I think we all love his TV show that he does for AMC and Shudder, Eli Roth's History of Horror.
It's becoming a traditional part of Halloween for me, but I mean, I don't know how I keep saying it every year. What are they going to do now? What are they going to do this year? What could they possibly do now? And they keep coming back with more shit.
They've covered a ton.
Yeah.
Covered practically everything. Now, have you guys listened to the audio version?
No.
Fan-fucking-tastic, dude. Do you think that show goes in depth? The audio version goes way fucking deeper.
Really?
Yeah, it's a great fucking listen. I think it's on, if you download the Shudder app on your phone, I think you can listen to it.
Oh, is it just on there?
I think so. But I could be
Well,
wrong.
that sucks.
It's pretty good, man, especially when he has like Greg Nicotero on there and Quentin Tarantino and just Rob Zombie. I know you guys are shut, but it doesn't matter. Rob Zombie's still a fucking horror nerd. And I can listen to horror nerd fuck horror all day. Fuck how I do it with you guys for 2 hours a week.
Down. We get Rob Zombie. I would definitely take that one on.
All right. Tarek says Terrifier owned the upside down kill scene, but Hostel 2 is a fair second place. Bill says
All right with that.
Terrifier for sure. Tarek also says, but the hacksawing was nice and comfy.
Yeah.
No, I think Terrifier is overhyped, big time.
He does. He's you know what I mean. I don't know. Like I said,
Not a fan of it.
I
the kills are good. The effects are, yeah.
This is a character
Go fuck yourself, Frank.
we needed.
You can see the fakeness of the effects. That's what I'm saying.
Well, of course. But I mean, you can see the fakeness of the
clearly.
effects in a lot of fucking horror movies.
Clearly, you can see the fakeness of the effects in some of those. Now, I like Art the Clown. I think he's all right. But and there we go. Yeah. Thank you, BD. He said Bone Tomahawk did it first. So there you go.
Not as effectively as that.
It's the same fucking kill.
It's not. It's the same kill, but it's not. Does not show the same style. I don't know. There's just something, that whole thing with you're next, and that chick's freaking out, And then when the screaming stops, but the song, then you can just hear the meat ripping and shit, dude. Fuck off. That is way more effective than any of those other things you guys are bringing up.
I agree. God damn it.
God damn it.
James says, what's up, James? He says, I got to check out Hostel 2. It's on my next list for movies that I'll be putting in a randomizer.
Yeah, it's fun, dude. I mean,
I need to do that. Yeah. And Grizzly says, just the physicality of hanging upside down. That's so impressive to me. Yeah. After about, 2 minutes, your organs stop working the right way. Something like that.
that's weird.
I've heard the girl from Terrifier talk about how they would hang her, they would shoot, and then she would like hold herself upright for like 10 minutes just to get the blood back in the right spot. And then they'd be like, you ready to go? And then drop her back down.
I think they'd have the fucking rig where she could just flip back up, I mean, it's like snap in place.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm sure Heather was the same way in Hostel 2, though. She'd be able to film for a few minutes at a time and then.
All right, everyone has homework. Go and compare the two scenes: the hang upside down scene in Terrifier, and then Hostel 2, and then for the bonus credit, go watch Bone Tomahawk and see if theirs is better.
And for bonus credit, see how long you can hang upside down before you pass out.
Oh, dude, we did that bit in Cincinnati with that Art the Clown where I'm on my head, and I was stumbling for 10 minutes after doing that for 30 seconds just for a quick video clip.
It was hard to shoot.
Very hard to shoot, man. God, there's too many fucking people do that.
Too many fucking people there.
Yeah. Tarek says Hostel 2 was kind of crap for me as far as plot, but the creativity of some of the kills was still really uncomfortable. Agreed.
I don't think you had anywhere to go with it though after the first one.
Well, I will say this about Hostel 2. I did like the fact that they delved into like the seedy side of it. They showed you the club a little bit more. I did like that because they could have done knockoff after knockoff after knockoff of those movies without going anywhere near that. Just keeping those figures in the shadowy background.
Different kinds of clubs. Yeah.
They could have done that, but no, they were just like, no. Here's these 3 guys that go out and play golf together every now and then, and they booked a trip. They were bidding on it on their phone along with all these other people around the world. I did like the way they kind of dove into that. That was different, and not a lot of movies with that kind of similar beginning have ever delved into anything like that I can remember.
But it's scary how fucking like realistic that felt. The fucking Mel get wealthy being able to do this type of shit.
Well, I just think we're to that point where we don't trust the rich.
Fuck, dude. That's what I'm saying.
Why should we?
I was exactly that same kind of situation.
Why the hell should we?
It's real. Could have been hanging upside down.
Your house the one time.
Yeah, could have been in Netherlands. Well, dude, the bars are really cool there. And we found a bar that had an American owner.
Oh, nice.
He was just serving it up. He wasn't even charging us, dude. It was like part of the plan,
Face says the difference between 2 topics is shocking. I'm struggling to edit Lisa Frankenstein to under an hour, and you guys got through this top 5 in 55 minutes.
We're just trying to make the job easier for you, FaZe.
Yep.
The D comes in and says Friday the 13th Part 3 split down the middle kill is still awesome. Yes.
I agree.
Agreed.
Another upside down kill. All right, watch that one too. Add that one to the list. Top 5 cut in halves.
Is that next week?
Yep.
There we go. Yep. And Grizzly says the other part for me is most of the other upside down kills are quick. In Halloween H2, she's crying and begging before the kill. Yeah. Now these are extended. That Heather, the Hostel 2 scene is minimum 5 minutes, probably longer. Yeah, and Tarek, this is on our list somewhere. Top 5 creative kills would be a pretty fun list. There would be a lot of oh crap, hadn't thought of that one moments, which could be fun, honestly.
You've got to twist my fucking arm.
Right. Well, really 116? That's all we got to talk about here.
Like I said, unfortunately, we had the same movies to choose from.
That is
I'm
true.
not saying that this is a bad topic because, like I said, I like Eli Roth, and half of his work a lot. Just the other half, I don't have nothing to say. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah. And we may reapproach this list at some point and maybe even throw in his presents and, films he's produced and just expand on this list a little bit somehow. So we at least have this one set in stone now, at least for now. But
I mean, it's, the guy makes some more fucking movies. We'll readdress this thing.
Well, he made a few. I mean, I give him credit and realized it was 9. I was like, shit, really? I thought that was a little bit low. Then I'm like, well, that's a fairly decent amount, really. They don't hammer movies out like they used to, man. Like John Carpenter and shit, and Wes Craven.
Well, and he's only been around since when did Cabin Fever come out? 06?
6, I think.
06 or 08?
No, I'm thinking like 3, dude. Like 03. 04 maybe.
Tarek says, guys can't even get the 90 minutes talking about Eli Roth movies, which is kind of a sick burn. Well, I'll say this. I'm shocked that I like as many of his movies as I do. I didn't really think of him as, one of my favorite directors, but I mean, for now, he's got 3 or 4 up there that are top quality.
There's definitely an Eli Roth style, and
of course,
I like it. But it's funny. I can't put him on the top. You know what I mean? But he's definitely top of the second tier. Of directors right now for that kind of stuff. So especially with Thanksgiving, dude, that shit was so fucking crafted so perfectly.
Yeah, but Cabin Fever was too.
Yeah, and that's even for a fucking rookie effort.
I think he's a good, solid horror director.
Yes.
He'll never be one of the greats. I don't think. He has time, but dude, we're already looking at 20 plus years.
I got to see what Savage does next too. He's my rising star right now.
Who?
Savage, guy from Boogeyman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Rob Savage? Okay.
Rob Savage.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I thought he was talking about Fred Savage. I was like, shit.
Fred Savage. The Wonder fucking Years, goddamn.
I thought he was talking about Savage Steve or whatever his name. In 25 years, will Eli Roth be as respected among the 20-year-olds now as John Carpenter is to us, or as Wes Craven is to us? Keep in mind, these kids have grown up with Eli Roth's movies the same way we grew up with John Carpenter movies.
The simple answer is yes.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Because that you just said it. This is their Carpenter, this is their Craven. And if they're fans of movies, which I don't think that crowd's even as big as it used to be back when we were that age. So, but yes, I do think he'll be revered as a horror general, at least. Go ahead, Colonel.
I'm going to say no. Well, it's true that this generation is growing up with Eli Roth and Eli Roth movies. This isn't even a shot at Eli Roth. None of his movies will ever come close to the classics of Carpenter, like Halloween, game changer, Craven, Nightmare on Elm Street, game changer. Those will forever be the pedestal of fucking horror. Kids, no matter what, they may start off with Thanksgiving, but they're going to go back and watch Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, and so on and so forth.
Well, I mean,
you don't consider Hostel a game changer?
Not really. Torture porn came and went, dude. But slashers are fucking forever. Like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, so I said, Thanksgiving might help his case. But Hostel, like, let's be honest. Granted, this might be, Kiara might help us with this. Because I'm not 20-something anymore. That was a long fucking time ago. But
this is true.
Telling me.
I was like, that age when Hostel came out, yeah, we talked about it. I'm still not talking about it with people my age. Like, oh, man, you remember Hostel? That movie was fucking awesome. It just doesn't really get mentioned.
You know what gets mentioned? It's the dick cut is the one that comes up the most. that I hear about with Hostel. It's always the dick cutting. Always.
See, I rarely hear about that one because most people don't watch 2.
Hmm.
I hear the Achilles most of the time.
Well, the Achilles is the peach of them all, but I mean, that's when it seems like it's always God, I couldn't watch that shit. I was all doubled over like this, It's like, I get it, but
Think about it this way, though. You have Hostel franchise. It's died out now, but there were multiple films. You have Cabin Fever. Now, although he did not direct any more of those, he probably was attached to some kind of producer, or at the very least was credited as a characters based on blah, blah, blah. So there's 2 franchises. Again, that one's dead. Now he's got a third one with Thanksgiving because we're getting the second movie of that. So
oh boy,
it's 3 franchises from one director. That doesn't happen.
The franchises you're mentioning, though. I mean, Cabin Fever, let's be honest. Outside of the first, they're not worth a fucking damn. I've watched them. Hostel, I was unaware there was more than fucking 2 of them.
Yeah, there's a third.
I was unaware there was a third.
I don't think he directed
it. Creep show.
No, he didn't direct it. No, but that's what I'm saying. He's created at least 3 franchises now. So does that hurt or help your argument? Either way,
helps me
with what's going to cement him in the future.
I think those 3 make him a great director. Cabin Fever, Hostel, Thanksgiving.
Yeah, they make him a good director. I just don't think he's one of the greats. Is he like all time? I don't think he'll ever be there. I mean, we have time to see. And like when he was coming out, we'll say him and Rob Zombie was coming up together. I fucking love Rob Zombie's movies. But are we all going to say, well, since he did so many movies, he's a great horror director? They're both very knowledgeable and great fucking horror nerds. They know their shit. But I don't know if I'd ever put either one of them as great. They're good.
Well, let's look at what a few of the viewers said here.
Eli Roth or Robert Rodriguez.
Well, there you go. There's another one.
Well, but Robert has only done 2 horror films that you could really clump in.
What, Planet Terror and Dusk Till Dawn? These are other horror movies.
Death Proof.
Well, they split. Oh,
those, they wrote. Didn't he write? And he directed.
One wrote.
Rodriguez directed Planet Terror. Tarantino directed Death Proof.
Right, but then they wrote the opposite ones or something like that, didn't they?
That I don't know because Death Proof.
Or no, they wrote.
Death
wrote
Proof
and directed
definitely
both
comes
of
off
them.
as a very Tarantino-esque film.
Right.
There is.
Well, and From Dusk Till Dawn had a franchise.
Yeah,
Not a good one.
Yeah.
But
and a TV series.
And a TV series. Yep.
Dude, it was all shit though. Really. I mean, the TV series was okay for a season.
The first season was okay until that's it. Let's look at some comments here. D says, I can't stand Eli, but I did like Thanksgiving. I fucking hated Green Inferno. I'll never forgive him for that shit. The trailer was amazing, though. In response to, will Eli be this generation's Carpenter or whatever, however you want to phrase that? Whole Damn Enchilada Pod says not a chance.
And don't word it that way. I never said the next Carpenter, the next West. You said, will he be revered like that? Kind of. That's a little different.
I'm not saying the next Carpenter or the next Craven. I'm saying, but when you advance the age,
I say no to that.
Well, when you advance the age, to the time, like we're at 45 years for Halloween right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're at 40 something for. Or close to 40 for Nightmare on Elm Street. No, exactly 40, 84.
40.
It's not exactly 40 yet. It's 39. It'll be there in November. Only saying
November.
40 in December. God damn it. Don't remind me.
Whatever. But, so in 20 years or so, when Cabin Fever is, 40 years old, are people going to be looking back at that franchise and going, are they going to talk about it as reveredly as we do Halloween, Nightmare, Friday?
I'm still going to stand by my answer and say no. I really, really am.
And Ziggy's going to stand by his and say yes, probably. Let's look at a couple more comments and see.
It's not going to be the stature of Halloween. It ain't going to be that grandiose, but I still think people will look back on Cabin Fever and Hostel and say, "Wow, those were pretty fucking groovy movies," and broke molds in their own way.
Okay. Grizzly says, not sure he has the same name recognition.
No.
Good point. Well, not now, but if he's still making shit in 20 years.
I mean, Carpenter hit the grand slam, bottom of the ninth in the World Series, you know what I'm saying, with Halloween. So,
but Carpenter hasn't even made a film in like 15 years.
Right.
So.
Yeah, but look at all the great films he made in those.
He was on a run, dude.
Yeah.
Writing and directing. But I mean, I'll say
he was on a coke run.
When he lost Deborah Hill,
that hurt.
The quality went down.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah, it did. All right. Tarek says, no, in my opinion. If Eli Roth stopped making movies right now, his legacy would not hold, I don't think. Not like John. He's only just now hitting his stride. And I think he continued that thought.
He could fuck it up with Thanksgiving, too, if that sucks.
There we go. The next few movies could write Eli's legacy, but that's still in production right now. Grimmer says, I don't see him as one of the greats, but I like Cabin Fever and Hostel. Patricia says, I'm curious to see what Eli Roth is going to do next. As far as movies go, Thanksgiving was really good. I hope he goes up and not down.
So we'll see, because as far as I know, that Borderlands and Thanksgiving too. So
yep, those are the two that I know of right now. And Grimmer right here also, plus his knowledge of horror is no joke. That guy is
he's deep. Well,
he's a fucking encyclopedia, dude.
The show,
which makes so much sense that him and Quentin Tarantino are friends, because Tarantino is a book of movies, just all styles. So much. I listened to Quentin's episode with Mick Garris on that show, the Postmortem, one of the last shows they did, and Jesus Christ, his deep knowledge of just about every fucking movie ever made is so ridiculous. Did you know he wrote like a novel about his characters from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood that fleshed out like what happened to that character after the movie, like for decades after the movie, and wrote it all down. And then they did some kind of radio play where they played it off a little bit at a time. And, it was just anyway.
Brilliant.
Roth is the same way about horror and other genres as well, but especially horror. There we go. D says, Eli doesn't have much competition as far as big name current day horror directors. I think him and Rob Zombie could share the crown by default. Yep. There you go. James Wan. How about James Wan?
James Wan, but I brought it up earlier. Rob Savage, I think, is a rising star in this game.
Rob Savage might be a little too new. Wan,
yeah, but three fucking strong entries to start. He is Eli Roth 20 years ago right now.
I'm still standing by the fact I want to see what Jordan Peele does.
Bring it.
Get Out was Coven his Carpenter-esque. Granted, like I said, what was it? Not us. Nope. I thought he took a step back with Nope, but
I agree.
Again, he only has 3 films. I'd like to see what Jordan Peele's done when he's up to 9. They're not going to.
Yeah, with Eli's category or generation would be him, James Wan, Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
Who else would be in there?
Those are only 3. Silent D to go. Those are 3 that come off the top of my head. The ones that hit their stride in the early 2000s.
Wait a minute.
Came out in the early 2000s.
What about Ari Aster? Fucking.
That would be closer to.
Yeah.
I thought about Aster and Flanagan, but that would be closer to Rob Savage's time, because they've only been. I mean,
Ugh.
Astor's been working since 17, 18. Flanagan's been working since probably around 13, 12. When did Oculus come out? That was 2013, I think. Yeah, I think they're separated by a decade, But I'll be having this conversation about Flanagan here in 10 years. Will Flanagan in 30 years be as revered as Wes Craven?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I think that one might be close.
Oh, God damn it. Get his fucking dick out of your mouth.
He's done some amazing shit.
I can't think of any other directors offhand or writers that stick out.
Well, here's a good one. Like talking about Ari Aster, Flanagan, Peele. Don't you guys feel like that, like Roth and Zombie and Wan, their generation is kind of lost in this horror universe? Because everybody talks Craven, Carpenter, and then it's last. They're kind of forgotten about. Like, I guess you'd say my generation of horror directors is kind of like second fiddle. No one really, like, come on. Thanksgiving wasn't as successful as it was, but people be talking about Eli Roth still like they are right now.
If
like, Eli
Roth
was good, but he has a new, Thanksgiving came out and people fucking love it.
But did Thanksgiving capitalize a little bit on Eli Roth's name? If his name was not attached to it, would it have been as popular? Would it have succeeded as much?
I think so, because it's a good fucking movie. Now, would it have been the same movie if he wasn't attached to it? Of course not.
Really?
What Eli Roth style to it?
What has the attendance been like at some of the horror movies that don't, that you've gone to see recently, like Night Swim in the theater and other films that?
Swim the fucking no, but look, you're comparing apples to fucking oranges here.
I'm aware, but we normally go see them the first week that they're out, in the theater, where no one knows what to expect, unless you've got somebody like Eli Roth's name attached to it. I think that movie would have made half what it made.
It's rarefied air too, because when people talk about those Grindhouse movies, they talk about those trailers first.
Yeah.
And Thanksgiving is always the one, and obviously SS Werewolf.
Werewolf SS. Come on, Rob. I want to see that fucking movie now.
Well, I think now that Thanksgiving is come and gone and it made all that dough, it's more likely than ever to get made.
No, I don't think so. Have you seen Cherry lately?
My point is,
oh God,
that's where this kind of stemmed from. People know about that. They saw those trailers. Even if they didn't see the movies, you could go see those trailers on YouTube.
Sure.
So I think that it was kind of there was a built-in following for Thanksgiving for these last 12 years or however long it's been.
Okay. Would a holiday slasher that's not an Eli Roth movie, would that succeed right now?
No, because what was that last one? Founders Day or whatever. Fuck, Happy President's Day, by the way, folks. But fucking Founders Day came out last month. We didn't cover that shit.
Where was it though? I wasn't at theaters.
It was in the theaters because I remember seeing it. And I was like,
wasn't in my theater.
I did not see it on my list.
It was not in my theater.
Never hit my theaters, and I get everything.
This is the conversation that we have to fill time. So
yeah.
There you go.
All right. The Founders or Founders Day. Yeah. Well, that's a fucking. You might as well pick the fucking Easter Bunny and go with that shit over the Founders.
Well, there is an bloody Easter coming out here in like 3 weeks or 4 weeks. So straight to video though, or on demand. What year is it? What year is it? It's in 1996. It's coming straight to video. You pick it up at your local Blockbuster.
That sounds fucking awful. I mean,
those are good days though, man.
Dude, I would rather watch the killer rabbit from Holy Grail in a fucking horror movie over that. That sounds really bad.
Christopher says the question should be, will any 21st century horror creator have the same status as the greats from the 70s and 80s?
I think movies in general, people don't go to the movies like they did back then. That is the problem. We don't have that anymore. So I don't think it can exist on that same level anymore.
Well, another thing that hurts, what's new? Really think about it. What in horror is new? There might be new aspects. We're pushing the limits, but it's all been done before.
Yeah, we had to get shit like Barbarian and Skinamarink and fucking.
Well, Barbarian was good.
Yeah, Barbarian was good.
Barbarian was cool.
Skinamarink sucked fucking balls. That's see. I think generationally they will be, because you talk to the young kids now. They watch Halloween. They're not impressed.
No.
They watch Friday the 13th. They're not impressed. Some of them even watch Nightmare on Elm Street. They're not impressed.
Well, some of them watched The Exorcist, not impressed. One of them's like literally right above my head right now.
Boom.
I'm thoroughly convinced that a lot of this is where you're at in your life when you see these things, when you're exposed to this, the level of fear it caused in you based on where you were at that time in your life. That's what all of this is about. And since we don't have the droves of crowds to go see movies like this, and due to YouTube desensitizing everybody down to where you've seen fucking murder right in your face, these things are not as intense and scary as they were 40 years ago.
Well, and the thing that kind of hurts Flanagan in the future, whenever people are talking about that, is 90% of his stuff is done on TV. You know, it's Netflix.
It's Netflix and chill, yeah. Because it's so goddamn boring if you're watching it on some.
Colonel, shut the fuck up.
What else is there to do?
There he goes. He'll be putting the moves on and the date and shit when when the Flanagan comes.
I gotta shuffle you around there. God damn it. No, but that am I wrong there? Won't that hurt some of Flanagan's status when you're talking about like Ari Aster and talking about, you know?
I think Flanagan.
Also, I think anything is just going to help him.
He'll get to movies. He's going to get to be a director, just exclusively, probably making features and stuff.
Oh, he is a director.
Yeah, but I mean, more so. I think his best is yet to come, is what I'm saying.
Well,
I don't know. Dr. Sleep was still.
Well, yeah.
Also, it helps him with the Netflix series. Is people much rather binge watch it for whatever reason, binge watch a fucking show nowadays than watch a movie. Oh, a movie can't keep my attention, but you can watch 6 episodes in like 6 hours straight of fucking a show.
Damn, dude, the House of Usher, I burned through that thing in 2 days, man.
So that's what I'm saying. I think that's going to help Flanagan's calls.
Yeah.
Just because it's exposed to more people and it's easier to get to digest, even though it's 10 hours long.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we need to adapt what going to the movies was and add all that in, factor all that in. The binging of the Netflix, the whole series at once, it all matters now. And to what it's going to be in 25 or 30 years, it all factors into that. So, I mean,
but even here we have generational break, because I saw Friday in the theater. You saw Halloween in the theater. Colonel did not.
That's not true. I've seen Halloween in theater, but it was in like 2017.
Not first release. Yeah.
I thought we were born. No.
Yeah. So
I was fucking 9, dude. That shit was.
He's a video baby.
Yeah.
No offense. As much as some of the kids now are Netflix horror babies.
It's a good point because they're still watching the material. So, yeah, I guess time will tell. You know.
See, and you guys were getting all fluffled out of place there that we were going to be wrapping up in like an hour and 15 minutes. You see what we did here?
I wasn't. I was like, shit, we get this meeting over with. I might be able to get to bed at a decent time.
Well, guess what, Colonel? Fuck you.
Yeah, you know how it is, Colonel.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
Talking about a dead horse. That commercial came out like 10 years ago, dude.
That's still good. It's still a good bit.
That's good.
Also, what yeah.
All right, let me run through some of these comments. Tarek, exactly, Ziggy. I'll even throw Ziggy some love. Carpenter hit that grand slam. I don't think Eli has hit that yet.
That's what I mean. It's subjective.
Cabin Fever was a big hit, wasn't it?
It was, but it wasn't Halloween hit.
Well, no, it wasn't Halloween, but probably
impact wise either. No. If he makes,
I don't know, because people still talk about Cabin Fever a lot.
He's going to have to make something like Thanksgiving. What it made $180 million or something.
80 something, yeah. I mean, I think Thanksgiving is clearly his biggest hit so far. Damon says he's positioned to be in the conversation.
Okay. Which I'll agree with. I mean, I'm still standing by my no answer, but
right.
Yeah.
Tarek says, Colonel, yes, Jordan Peele isn't hitting nonstop home runs or anything, but wow, did he ever lay the concrete for a legacy? And his legacy meant opening the door for others because there weren't a whole lot of black creators out there. And now that's all people want.
Well,
Seems like. Damon says Ari Aster. Says Ari is probably closer to Peele.
yeah.
Okay, and there we go. Tarek says, fair point. I think legacy horror directors on the Carpenter level are where they are because they were literally the first. No one's ever going to touch that ever. Well, who was before Carpenter? Craven? Hitchcock.
Hitchcock, yeah.
Hitchcock.
And he's still revered as like.
And if you want to, hey man, Mario Bava and Lamberto.
Murnau, whatever. Who? What was the name of the guy that did Nosferatu? Murnau, something like that.
I mean, there is a pecking order you can follow from 1921, and kind of see what happened and where it came from. So, but I would say Hitchcock was the turn to what I like to call that sweet spot, that slasher era.
Well, let's just say modern horror.
Modern horror
Starts with Hitchcock.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a fucking
There's
great statement.
I found something where I saw something the other day that was talking about the shower scene, and it's just a documentary about the shower scene and like how many shots they took, how many cuts were in that scene from Psycho. And I almost watched it, but that was I didn't that night. But fuck, it was on one of the streamers. But I am going to go back and check that out at some point. BK had a good comment here. He says, in my opinion, Rob Zombie was Blumhouse 10 plus years ago. Remake ripoffs.
I still say I liked the first 45 minutes of his Halloween. I just didn't like the rushing.
Hold on. Colonel, do you have something to say?
Remake ripoffs? He literally did one fucking remake. Really? I mean, granted, you can say House of the Thousand Corpses was a Texas Chainsaw remake or ripoff. But only did one remake. If you want to two, if you count H2, but it's his sequel to his remake. I don't count that as a remake.
I only wanted to throw that comment up. Thank you, by the way, BK, because I wanted to see Colonel get all bent out of shape for like 2 seconds.
God damn, he's not as bad as everybody says he is. Jesus Christ.
Basically, BK, what Colonel is saying.
Pardon my French, but you're an asshole.
I wouldn't say that, but he was an asshole this instance, yes.
Asshole.
Normally not an asshole, but right now, yes, he's being an asshole.
Oh, and there's another point. The classic directors may not be impressed, but they're still being watched. If by the young kids.
I'm saying because they're fucking legendary. Everybody's gonna have to fucking watch Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, fucking The Shining, like The Exorcist.
I wonder how many of those kids are fronting though. You know what I mean? Just saying it wasn't scary, but then they got to walk home, a couple blocks, and they're like, "Fuck, god damn it, it's scary." That's what that shit does to you. Gets under your skin, man.
That was a good chat, though.
It was a good chat. It was
a good conversation, man.
Shit, that's a producer cut. I don't want to take away his things, but just that whole conversation that's one producer cut. You can take out of this fucking thing.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
Yeah. Thanks one more time, though, to our members, our final girls and guys, Chris, Lorena, BD Mags, Tyrone, our Crazy Ralphs, Rick and Raymond, and our camp counselors, 42nd Street Pete, Corey, Luke, Michigan Dave, Jimmy and Rachel, Stacy Lynn, Orlando, Patricia, and JJ. Thank you, guys.